Delgado. All right, you're going to need to keep your voice up. That's what I'm doing right now. We're getting to that part. Thank you, Mr. Stateson. So, Mr. Delgado, your previous attorney, Neil Kathis, they asked to be withdrawn from your case this morning, and you agreed to their withdrawal, and there was no objection from the state. So the court allowed their withdrawal. You informed the court that you needed a court-appointed
attorney withdrawal on trial day? That's legal equivalent of jumping ship mid-voyage. Either this case is a dumpster fire, or there's major client counsel conflict. Either way, new attorney Joseph Stetson just inherited a hot potato with only minutes to prepare.
attorney. And the attorney appointed to you is Mr. Joseph Stetson. All right. Do you understand that when an attorney is appointed to a case, and this being Mr. Stetson's first day, that he is allowed 10 days to prepare for trial? Did you understand? All right. And of course, I've received plea paperwork stating that you wish to enter a plea bargain agreement. Are you waiving or giving up your attorney's right to have 10 days before he proceeds? All right, Mr. Stetson, have you had significant amount of time to confer with your client on this case?
I have, Your Honor. I did, and confer with this family.
All right. And did you have a chance to review all of the evidence from the state?
I did, Your Honor.
And did you have a chance to review all of that evidence with your client?
I did.
And do you believe that your client is aware of his rights through you, the fact that he has 10 days to be ready for trial?
Yes, Judge, I have explained that to him previously. We both going there.
Okay. Did you understand you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Taylor Holly Hughes, Raul Reyes Mendez, John Jay High School, and Cats 1 and 2. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
This isn't just probation, it's a ticking time bomb. Deferred adjudication means if he messes up even once in these 2 years, he automatically gets the max sentence. That no contact list? Basically, his entire social circle just got banned.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
State offers it to the one and all that.
No, Judge.
Mr. Delgado, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Judge knows he's supposed to be limited to the county. And I spoke with his family, his father's present. He will have a job opportunity for work in the field.
From what I remember of the case, it was something that occurred shortly before school.
So you can unwind. So all you had to do was go to school. That was your job. Some people see it as a full-time job. My mom would always say, going to school is your job. So you can unwind and play a little bit when you get home, but then you do your homework. So my question to you is why you dropped out of school. All right. And so when you dropped out of school and stopped going, where were you living? And see, maybe your mom should have put you out, because the rules in our house was either you're going to school or you're getting a job, but you're not going to be sitting around the house getting buzzed, as what I see in this police report, doing nothing with your life. Because that's when people have a sense of entitlement. So meanwhile, I guess your mom and dad were working and you just not going to school, doing your own thing, like you're taking a gap year. If you take a gap year, that's supposed to be after you graduate from high school. You don't take a gap year during high school. Do you understand? And so what drugs have you been using?
The judge just switched from legal formalities to full intervention mode. That be honest with me warning? She's not playing. She knows probation will fail if he's still using. This is about saving his life, not just avoiding jail.
I'm not talking about at the Bexar County Jail. I'm like, what drugs have you been using in your lifetime? No, it's more than marijuana. So here's the thing. You better be honest with me. Otherwise, let me just tell you what's going to end up happening. What's going to end up happening is I am not going to sentence you today. You're going to go back to the Bexar County Jail. A PSI report will be filed. And at that time, I'll see what drugs you've been using in the past. I'm trying to set conditions so that you can be successful on probation. Because otherwise, if you're unsuccessful, you're looking at going to the state jail facility for 2 years. And I know your parents are here and maybe you don't want to know, but you better tell me the truth. So other than marijuana, what other drugs have you been using?
Pills.
What pills? Here's the thing. Now's the time to tell the truth, because let me just tell you, if I let you walk out of this courtroom and I don't give you the help that you need, you're going to end up using again and you may end up killing somebody. And that's not happening on my watch. So what type of pills have you been taking? You need to speak up so that I can hear you and so your parents can hear.
Call reading.
Mm-hmm. Where were you getting pills from?
Someone I know.
And who is this person you know?
See.
You need to say, because let me just tell you, do you turn around? Do you see that person in the courtroom? Who's in the courtroom for you? All right. And who else? Turn around. All right. So those are the only people who are in the courtroom for you right now. So right now in this situation, the only friend you have is your mom. So who is this other person? What's their name?
Bingo. There's the real issue. This isn't just about car theft. It's about a teenager mixing benzos with driving. Judge sees the bigger picture. This kid is one bad decision away from killing someone.
All right. We can have this sentencing at the Bexar County Jail where you go there and then they do a PSI report.
What is the name of the pill?
Oh, so now you know?
I don't know what's the name of the pill. I know that they're called bars.
So have you been doing Xanax bars?
Not since the day I got arrested.
So have you been doing alcohol? And what's the name of this person that you hang out with the pills? What is the name?
See?
Yes.
I'm the phone.
Yes, you do know him like that. So what is the name?
Watch the body language, arms crossed, avoiding eye contact. The judge is surgically removing his drug connections one name at a time. That unfold your arms command? She's breaking through the defensive posture to get to the truth.
How do you not know the name when I asked you for the name and you said you didn't want to give me the name? Unfold your arms. Uncross your arms. What is the person's name? Because you're not going to be allowed to be around them on probation. And I can tell you right now, you're talking about working in the oil field. Oil field does not accept anybody to be working if you're using marijuana, Xanax bars, and alcohol, because you're working with heavy machinery and anybody can be injured and killed if you are not in your right mind. So what's the name of the person? Give me the first name of the person who gave you Do you have any younger brothers or sisters? How old are they? Do you know?
17,
And what else?
2,
Have you ever had employment? So how have you been supporting yourself? How are you? Okay, you've never had employment in your life, right? That's either yes or no. So how have you been eating? Because you're 18 years old, and if you have not eaten in your 18 years, you will be dead. So how have you been supporting yourself? Who has been clothing you? Who has been feeding you? Who has been giving you a roof over your head? So what are your plans for your future?
and I will start working.
Doing what?
You know,
And what if you can't work in the all fields?
that's-
Doing what? Do you have any children? All right. Is there any questions from anyone else?
Would you, regarding what you ordered for the classes, did you restate what you ordered for classes?
No, I haven't done that. And I'm asking, is there any questions for him?
No questions.
nothing serious.
Okay. Oh, let me ask you this. The car, I read that it belonged to your aunt. Is that correct?
I believe it said, he said it was the other person in the vehicle, his aunt,
Mhm.
not.
So who do you think is going to pay for that? For the damages? I know everybody's dependent on Geico to pay for that, but guess what? Geico, the person who is that person that they're insured with, they have to pay premiums to Geico. So guess what? That person, Geico is probably going to increase their premiums, which, do I think that's wrong, Brenda? When they've been paying the Geico insurance and paying people insurance?
This isn't just legal theory. The judge is connecting dots to real consequences. That aunt's insurance premiums? That's the kind of tangible damage judges rarely explain. She's making him see victims beyond just legal paperwork.
Yes, I do. But that's not how it works in the real world. In the real world, what ends up happening is Geico may pay to fix their car. They may say that car was totaled. And you know what's going to happen if that car is totaled? She's going to end up with a car note because she's going to have to get a new car. And if I could, and if it were within...
The judge threaded the needle here, punishment with purpose. GPS monitoring instead of jail? She's giving him just enough rope to climb out, or hang himself. That no credit for service clause? She's ensuring he actually earns this second chance.
in my purview, and if it were legal for me to do it, when she gets a new car, if that car is totaled, I would have you pay the notes on it. Because there's nothing worse than having a car that is completely paid off, and then some yahoo like you are driving around without a license, going for a joyride, and also being intoxicated in the vehicle, according to this police report. And now they have a new car note, and you're just, well, living your life. I'm not going to have that. You understand? So he's going to go on GPS, and I'm not letting him go to an all field until he proves to me that he can actually get his life together. And you're going to be placed on GPS, and you're going to get a job. And if you don't get a job, you're not going to be living at your mom's house. You're going to end up living on your own because somebody got to teach you a lesson to be a responsible adult. And I think that's going to be me. You understand? So this is what I'm going to do. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Yes.
Sorry, Your Honor. Do you think I did right? Well, probably.
Yes. There's 2 years deferred adjudication. This is where I'm concurrent with 658820. Taking consideration County Court cause number 679858. There's to be restitution, if any, and no contact to Taylor Holly Hughes, Raul Reyes Mendez, John J. High School, there's to be 100 hours of community service restitution, and I am not waiving or giving you credit for any of that community service restitution. You're going to have to do it all. And if you don't do it all, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke may be filed against you, and you may end up going to the state jail facility for 2 years. There's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. GPS, partial for work. And that's going to be with the curfew of 8 p.m. Monday, curfew of 8 p.m. If he is working and his schedule is past 8 p.m., then of course he can be allowed to extend the curfew. And that's Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, it's full GPS, so he is to remain at home. There's going to be regular reporting. And we're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month until further notice. And if he does not have employment by 90 days, he is no longer allowed to live with his mom. Mom, is he allowed to live with you?
Okay. Yes.
No, I mean, right now, is he allowed to live with you?
Yeah.
All right, so he is allowed to live with his mom, but if he is not employed within 90 days or in school full time, he is no longer allowed to live with her, and you'll need to get your job and get your life together the best way you know how. So he's allowed to with his mother for 90 days. If not employed or in school full time, then he needs to go to Haven for Hope. Is there anything else that he needs probation? And I'm going to get to the cats 1 and 2 in just a second. Is there anything you need, Mr. Delgado, other than what I'm giving you right now? All right, so here's your cats 1 and 2. And the reason why I'm going to give you cats 1 and 2 is because there's going to be a lot on your plate that I'm asking of you. So cats 1 and 2. You should have already learned this because you're 18 years old. You are not allowed to steal. Do not take anything that doesn't belong to you. I don't care if somebody has a vehicle and they leave the keys in the car. The keys in ignition. You're not allowed to do that. Do you understand? Now, because of your actions, this person is probably out of a vehicle because it's damaged. They're not with it. And even if it is not totaled, it's not fixed. They got to wait and drive around into a rental. And if they didn't pay the right price to Geico, guess what? They have to pay for that rental car. Do you understand? I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Delgado? Yes?
On the record,
Yes, we can go on the record.
regarding the order of restitution attorneys, but I didn't see the order of restitution attorneys.
Oh, if the restitution, if there's a disagreement over the restitution amount, then we can have a hearing on it. All right, you're welcome. So we're off the record. Mr. Delgado, you had better change your life and get your life in order. This whole thing where you're buzzing, what you put in the police report, you could have killed someone, killed the people who you're with, or killed yourself. And then your mom would have been crying because her baby's dead. Or your mom would have been crying because you're going to prison for a long time because you've killed someone. Do you understand?